419 with Gretchen DeBacker, Matt Killam, and Kevin Mullen.
Welcome into the 419, powered by WGTE, presented by Witro Wealth Management. I'm Kevin Mullen.
Gretchen DeBacker.
Matt Killam.
It is a mystery guest edition of the 419, and this is always the most mysterious of mystery guest editions, because now is the moment that Matt realizes that he was supposed to invite a mystery guest. And
Matt, get your phone out and
feverishly
start texting someone.
starts texting people. It's your mystery guest, Matt.
Yes, it is. And I need about 10 minutes.
Not only is he the mystery guest this week, but he is the mystery guest next week. So it's going to compound.
I love the look on Matt's face right now. Like,
Because
wait.
you know it's in the spreadsheet.
Here's the thing. I like to keep the mystery guest a mystery to everyone, including myself.
Yeah.
Until almost the last minute.
Yeah, and
I'm
them.
so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and them. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I am,
great.
I have a buddy, and I think, Kevin, I don't know if you know this individual. Gretchen, I know that you're a big fan of said person.
Okay.
Is
Is it Taylor Swift?
It is Taylor Swift. Come on out, Taylor. No, they look similar to Taylor Swift, my words.
Oh.
And let's see, how would I describe this person? I can't remember when I met, it's a man.
Okay.
I can't remember when I met him, but the breadth of things that this person is interested in is limitless. He is by no means a stereotype. He is an athlete. He is a downtown loiterer, my words. I think he's a leader in a myriad of ways. He's a good sense
You
of...
think he is?
I'll just give you the clues and you guess. That's how this goes. He's just an interesting person in every manner of ways.
How do you know him?
I just said moments ago, I'm not sure how we met originally.
Oh, right. You did say that. I don't listen.
He is... He understands the Italian culture more than most.
Italian.
Yes. He
Downtown loiterer.
Yeah.
Understands the Italian culture.
Yeah. Yep. I would say that he brought bowls to it.
Pat Gianmarco.
No, that's a good guess, though. I get it. I don't know what kind of athlete he is.
Oh, that's right. Maybe.
Yeah. He's more MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cage fighting,
Yeah.
definitely.
I don't know if you saw what Pat did to local pizza. I'm just kidding. We're looking for a sponsorship. I think you're going to be thrilled. And I think, although the two of you, I do think you know this individual, just the amount of things that they've done in a relatively short life, he and I are the same age, is fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea?
I've got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is one of those where, like, the person's going to come around the
And
corner
you're going to be like,
during the commercial break, and I'm going to be like, I'm an idiot. I knew that person.
Yeah, well, if it
can be
helps,
like
you
that
are
now.
an idiot.
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, we can tell you now. We don't even need, I don't even have a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to tell you you're an idiot. This show's not even recorded.
It's such a valid,
Yeah.
like, that Matt could just pick completely random things, and then
Yes.
he's going to scroll through his phone to say, all right,
Yeah.
who do I know that's ever walked downtown,
That's right.
that has ever eaten Italian food?
not necessarily.
ever.
He didn't say
Yeah.
food. He just said the person is Italian.
That's right. And
He
into
didn't
bowls.
say the person was-
Into bowls.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will figure out not only who, but if Matt actually has a mystery guest.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back on the
30-minute break.
419, powered by WGTE.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at witroadvisors.com.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.
Welcome back into the 419, powered by WGTE, a mystery guest edition, and it's Matt's mystery guest. And as I predicted, the guest during the commercial break walks around the corner, and I was like, man, I should have gotten that. Please welcome to the show our friend Nick Eyde.
Nick Eyde, welcome.
Okay, Nick.
Thanks for having me.
Excited.
I now get the clues.
Yes.
The downtown loiterer. You've got a building, I think I say at least one downtown. Italian culture. Why don't you explain to people where the Italian culture comes from?
So I get it a lot where people actually think I'm Italian, but I'm not. I'm Lebanese, German, Norwegian, Syrian, but I lived in Italy for 5 years, speak Italian, have Italian citizenship, married an Italian woman.
Sorry, we can edit that out.
Married an Italian woman. One. And,
One woman.
And so that's where I get the Italian side of things, as well as, Kevin, you and I worked on the Italian Bowl. Come here. Kevin was the voice of the Italian Bowl and on the commercials for BCSN and all that sort of stuff.
Yes,
so.
that's what I said.
That's right.
When I said, I think you know it.
Yeah.
The first thing we usually ask Matt's guests is when did you find out you were going to be on the show? When did he ask you?
So I leave my phone on through the evening, and there's, especially for Matt, if there's anything
Any
going on.
issue.
So
And
about
I usually send him emojis between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m.
Yeah, nice.
So about an hour ago, I got a call on my phone, and he read, no.
And you knew right away when the alarm went off.
That's right.
Yeah.
I sent the bad signal out, but it's during the day.
Yeah,
So
no one could see it.
Yeah, it was problematic.
But Nick was up.
Yeah, Nick was up, probably doing some insane training.
So we always have this battle of like where in a person's timeline do we start? I kind of want to start somewhat in the middle for you because you mentioned that you lived in Italy for a spell, but you lived in Italy because you were playing professional football.
Yes, I really, Italy was not on my radar. I didn't think I was ever going to speak another language because I was a football player. Not to go into the the stereotypical football player, but my interests growing up were football. When I finished college, the only opportunity I had to continue playing, and I wanted to continue playing because I loved sports, was to go to Europe. But it actually started in Austria, a small town team in Hohenems, Austria, which is in Vorarlberg.
They're in the fall. Am I right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful part of the world, but it's very, very small town. And so they reached out, brought me over. I played my first season there.
Nick, the university that you played was where?
In Minnesota, a small school called Gustavus Adolphus College in what is called the, it's like the Laura Ingalls Wilder area of Minnesota where all that kind of took place.
She was a pretty skilled football player.
She was.
Unbeknownst to most. Yeah, she was a free safety, and she hit like a freight train.
You
How
guys
does the
will
international-
appreciate. Hang on, I've got our South African producer in my ear
Yeah.
asking for clarification on, especially when we talk about Italy. When you're playing football in Italy, American
football.
American football.
Yeah.
That is our producer who is from another planet. So feel no need to educate that bozo about anything.
How does the
He wakes up every morning with a didgeridoo in his mouth.
How does the recruiting, international
African.
recruiting happen? Do you put something out, put yourself on tape and try to get out somewhere, or do they?
It is all different methods of that. If you know somebody, then they,
Yeah.
it's all that type of network, somebody who knows somebody. My case was a little bit different. I went to a workout in Chicago that every senior in college who played football at least 2 years gets invited to, everyone. And so I went to that, and from that, the director of that camp said, hey, you're the perfect candidate to play American football in Europe because you can play multiple positions. And I could. I'd played quite a few different positions.
What were those positions?
Receiver, quarterback, defensive back.
Okay.
So.
If you had to, did you have a favorite? That's not always the one that you're the most skilled at, but did you have a favorite?
I did. I mean, I really enjoyed quarterback, but I also enjoyed receiver.
Yeah.
So, on the defensive side, I wasn't great, to be honest with you. But
was the game different from playing in the U.S. to playing in Italy?
the rules are the same. It's NCAA rules, but the game is very different. And you'll see
Did they try
this.
to throw that goofy metric system at you? What a nightmare.
No, luckily it's not, what, 3 meter or
Yeah.
meter and a half per
Yeah,
person.
like I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah. But the differences are really the nuances of it, because
Yeah.
you're dealing, and you'll see this from the coaching tree. There are so many coaches now in the NFL or in college, and some of the most successful coaches got their start coaching European teams. And you're dealing with, you've got 3 Americans on a team. Now, it's less so the case, but the rest of the players are Italian and at different varying skill levels. So it's how do you put, it becomes a really different chess game.
It's a shell game.
Yeah,
basically.
how are you going to cover this deficiency when you've got this Italian or Austrian player that's so much advanced and better than everybody else, but you're trying to, and it becomes a really unique
It's
chess
interesting
game.
juxtaposition to our global politics when people now are trying to save all the decisions that are being made. But that's not this show.
How did you get from?
I was going to say, a relatively small school in Minnesota to now competing against all of these seniors. I know you well, and full candor, we are friends, which I'm proud to say. Was there ever a moment like, I am punting my coverage here? Or did you ever get that in your stomach?
Yeah.
Like, even driving to the tryouts, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that there's a rush to that. I also, I have theater background, as I know you have theater background, but there's also that part of it that's a rush of competition and pushing your limit and seeing what how much better you can get at something.
That's well said.
So I love that feeling of going into it, and you get a little bit of an edge when you're coming from a Division III and you're thinking, maybe I can compete with some of these guys, maybe I can do that. So
was there something that happened in that tryout that you're like a moment or something you did, like a cone drill or something, you hit somebody, you're like, I can compete with these guys?
Yeah, it really was the end of it. There were about 20 some odd quarterbacks there, and I just went through each drill and was really, as they say, in the moment or in the zone, where you're just thinking about the drill and thinking about the one-on-one drills. One-on-one drills is really where everything gets separated out, and I did very well. That was the best maybe one-on-one drill I've ever had in my life. And at the end of it, I look up and there were only 2 quarterbacks left throwing, and the other guy was actually very good and better than me, to be honest. And the director of the camp came back and said, okay, well, I'm bringing this guy up to Canada for some workouts. What do you think about playing in Europe? And I said, they have American football in Europe, do they? I was like, wherever, I want to play.
Yep, got my bags.
And that's where I said, Europe had not been on my mind. So particularly, Hohenems, Austria, which is a tiny town close to the Switzerland border.
How tiny is tiny? Do you remember the population?
Oh, I don't remember the population, but it was small. I couldn't believe they had an American football team there, because there were, I think, at that point, 6 or 8 teams in the first division, and I'd heard of Salzburg, Vienna, Graz, but I had never heard of Hohenems. And
Are all these teams affiliated with the NFL?
None.
So they're totally separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they are.
Okay.
But when I was there was no NFL involvement. Flag football was just starting to get interesting. Now it's an Olympic sport, but it was just, I don't know the different rhyme and reason. It'd be an interesting study to figure out why American football started in that small town of Hohenems. And if you look it up on you can find all sorts of beautiful pictures of this town, Hohenems, in Austria. And you're like, well, how did this happen?
Right.
And really, in some of the cases, somebody in that town was fascinated with American football. A funny story about that. When I played for another small town in Italy, Civitanovo Marche, the owner of that team owned a hotel on the beach and was this 80s American movie sports enthusiast. And so Joe Montana played against Dan Marino in like the early 80s Super Bowl. A couple of Italian guys. It got coverage in Italy.
Right.
So these guys with Italian roots. So this guy in Civitanovo Marche, small town where I learned Italian because nobody else spoke English, was just fascinated with it. And then he had all of John Hughes's movies, all of them dubbed over in Italian. And this guy couldn't speak English, but he had them all. And so I remember I'd be sitting in his hotel lobby with him, and he'd be showing me every John
You like
Hughes
Uncle
film.
Buck?
Yeah, exactly.
Those are good movies.
That's right.
Yeah, right?
A lot of they are great movies. So you are in now in Italy, in a town. A lot of significant things happened there. Is that where you met your bride?
I met my wife in 2009 in Rome, and at that point, I spoke Italian fluently, and I still joke with her to this day. At that point, when I met her, she spoke the least amount of English of any Italian person I'd met, and it was a good thing I spoke Italian because that helped. But
she does not share that same feeling. She actually has a couple notes here.
Wait a minute.
She thought you were selling her a car.
I heard.
It's a very good car.
I heard a story that there is we'll call it an incredible parallel between your playing career or a moment in your playing career and a book written by John Grisham called Playing for Pizza. Is this accurate?
This is accurate. I just told this story yesterday. The new general manager for Inverness is a guy from Italy, from Rome, and we connected with them so they could meet some folks that spoke Italian and had a good conversation with them. They said, hey, we were going to bring a gift for you. It's this book, Playing for Pizza. I don't know if you know anything about it. And we were at the Beirut having this conversation. And how I met Labib the first time is he heard I played American football in Italy. And if you ask him to this day, the only book he's ever read is Playing for Pizza. I don't know how he got it and how he read it. And
Labib, the only book Labib's read.
That's what he says. He says that's the only. And he goes,
okay.
He goes, now is that book about you? And this is when I first met him, 10 years ago. And in a way, yes. So I told the story to the Italian gentleman, Arnaldo, who's now the general manager at Inverness. There's a team in Italy, and it's accurate, that had an 8-year, 73-game winning streak. And they were unbeatable. They're from Bergamo. And I had played against them 3 times over my career. The first time I played against them, they probably had a 55-game winning streak, something like that. And I had a running back from the University of South Carolina who was very good, a guy named Boo Williams, who was an excellent football player. And going into this game, we were on a team that it was just like a startup team.
Yeah.
And
So
an
it's you
expansion
and
team. Yeah, and the Italian guys were learning the game.
Right, and Mario and Luigi from the Mario Brothers.
And he grabbed me and he goes, now Nick, he goes, I know you want to win, I've got this Division III try hard attitude. He goes, but you can't get hurt. We got to try to think about making the playoffs. He goes, we're not going to be in this game. And I'm looking at him, and this is like one of the best football players I've played with. And I go, Boo, we got you. I mean, what are you talking about? These guys don't know what's coming.
That's right.
And walk off the field at halftime, it's 42-0, and I look and I go, what just happened? And these guys were that much better. They had, it's like sports. They had way better budget.
Right.
Back then, you didn't have any rules on, this is a side story of dual passport players, guys that played in college here in the States that had Italian heritage that could then go get them documents so they wouldn't, those league rules have changed, but back then they could load up. But fast forward 2006, a few years later, we played against them, and they were getting older. They had reduced the amount of dual passport players you could have, and we ended up beating them on a Hail Mary pass at the end of the game. And then John Grisham, I did.
My man.
Yeah,
Nice.
only one I ever completed. I didn't get to see it completed. I got knocked down, but I could just tell, you feel this. And it was.
How far was the ball in the air?
It was not
Do it
that
in the
long.
metric system.
So, I can't.
9,000 meters.
So the play started at the 35-yard line. I dropped back to probably about the 42, and then it was in the middle of the end zone.
How did John Grisham come to know about this story?
That I don't know how he found out. I know Sports Illustrated did a little story about that upset of that game, and it was in La Gazzetta dello Sport, but I don't know how he found out about that upset. I mean, it was pretty, if you knew American football in Europe or even Italy, you knew about Bergamo, and I think he had heard about that as he was doing his research for writing Playing for Pizza. He had heard about it, and then that as
Did you have to murder someone to be in the book?
No, they wanted me to, come after you. I said, no, that's my.
No, we're not
The
doing
week
it.
I've been having, I'll allow you to kill me today.
When was the moment that Italy became home? I mean, you're playing football, you're there working, you're focused on that one thing.
I should have brought in my guide development hat. So guide development has the Cedar of Lebanon, because I'm Lebanese, and it has Monte Condoro, which is Civita Novomatica, where I learned that language. And that, it was 2002 or 3-ish. And I mean, it was formative for me because I learned this other language. I just, and Kevin, like you said, it just became like a home. It became a place where I just felt, I mean, everybody, there's a certain feeling with Italian culture of just being.
Thought you belonged. How did you learn the language? What was your method? I mean, just pure immersion?
It's pure immersion.
Yeah.
So when I was there, like I mentioned, the owner of that team, he just loved American football. I didn't speak any English. It was a crash course. The guy that communicated with me via email about contract stuff, his English was great, but he was, his family operated amusement parks in Saudi Arabia, so he wasn't always there. I get there, and I lived in the owner's hotel, lived there, ate all my meals there.
Watch John Hughes films 24/7.
Watched those, and then watched what was called Grande Fratello with the family, Big Brother, in Italian, in the hotel lobby, and it was like nobody. I mean, it was so different. Nobody in that town spoke English, and I remember coming down for breakfast the next day after I first arrived there, and nobody, the general manager wasn't there, and the mother of the owner of the hotel was like, "Colazione," with their hand down. I'm like, I don't know, that sounds like
Collection,
but my contract, I'm not, is included all this. Colazione was the Italian word for breakfast, and I said that was like the beginning of, okay, you better start learning some of these.
Yes.
Yes.
Misunderstandings.
So I punched her in the face.
And then,
So before you cause an international incident.
and then, we'd all have lunch together with, great Italian foods, right? At the big table, and I'm sitting there, the only guy who doesn't speak Italian, and everybody's talking, but after 4 or 5 months, you're just, and I remember
That's amazing.
looking around the table and knowing what people were saying,
Yes.
but not knowing how to respond.
I don't know if you give yourself enough credit as we close out here. You have to be prepared to embrace things as well. You have to be open to things, to learn them. Immersion is only effective if you're receptive to it. So a credit to you. We're closing out here. We'll get more into this in the second segment.
We're talking with Nick Eyde, Matt's mystery guest here on the 419.
It's not a mystery anymore. It's right here.
That's right. Well, he was still your mystery guest, is your mystery guest. You know how the show's done?
Not really.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll explore. I want to talk about the Italian Bowl as well as dive into what is guide development today and where is it going. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on the 419.
To me, community means connecting to others.
I'm Donnie Miller, and welcome to The Point.
We're a community committed to education. Discover new ideas, dive into exciting subjects, and engage with the world around you.
I would send them personally a t-shirt. Crime doesn't pay in the old West End, pass it on. That's how we cleaned up the neighborhood.
Vision loss for people is not the end.
It's a story, it's the next chapter.
WGTE Public Media invites you to Get Out and Play Day.
The 419 at 7 a.m. on YouTube, 3 p.m. on FM 91, and 6 p.m. on WGTE Connects. It's the 419 powered by WGTE.
WGTE, where you come to watch, listen, and learn.
Welcome back into the 419 powered by WGTE, a mystery guest edition with Matt's mystery guest, Nick Eyde.
And make no bones about it, of course, my two bozo counterparts here, we're rolling right back into musical theater. Which is becoming the unsung theme of the show.
It drives Matt insane that we talk about musical
every
theater.
single show. We had a seeing eye dog on once. They're like, can you imagine if you were in The Wiz?
He was in it.
Yeah, and I had him put down.
I was actually working on writing Air Bud the musical.
Yeah.
But now my star is
This is sort of the cultured group I'm with here. Air Bud. How
It's
about
a crossover of sports.
It's like Citizen Kane 5.
So Nick, in the first segment, you said the word theater, and it was the first moment that Gretchen was interested in
It's
sports
a non-sports
talk.
word. I love it.
What is your theater background?
So I grew up and I was talking about how...
Make this quick, Nick. I don't know. Blow through this as fast as you can, brother. You're going to be here all day.
So normally in the spring, football players would run track, but I didn't do that, and much to my high school coaches, he was not pleased with it. I did the spring musical, and that kind of led into college. Wanted to do more theater, so I did theater in college. The first show I did as a freshman in college was 6 characters in search of an author.
Yeah.
Familiar with that?
Yes,
I love that. That's from the Grisham novel.
But now I'm thinking, I'm wondering what, in the original language, how much different it is. Very strange play.
Very strange.
Very strange.
You know it?
Now, yes.
Yeah.
Now, did you come back? Are you from Toledo?
No, from East Lansing, Michigan.
Okay. So how did you, when you came back, I'm assuming from playing football in Europe, did you come back to Toledo specifically? Tell us how you got back here.
Yeah, that's an interesting story too. So I came
We'll
back.
decide if it's interesting.
It was in a family business. My father and my uncle had real estate holdings in Michigan and Ohio, and our Ohio portion of the portfolio really had not had a lot of attention. I came back from playing American football in Europe and coming into a business where I wanted to pull my weight, wanted to understand what was going on. And so we'd have weekly meetings, and we had a number of properties that in Toledo that had been vacant or had been underutilized for years. And we didn't there wasn't a big plan. We had one property manager who was managing a lot, but never getting down there. And so okay, I went a few times over the years just to see what was going on. And then I said, okay, well, here's an opportunity for me to see what's going on, understand Toledo. And and pull my weight and make something happen where something had not been touched.
And what year was
years.
that?
That was 2006.
Wow, okay.
A long time, like 20
years.
I don't. Yeah, we can do the math, Nick. I do. I don't want to dwell on just football, but this is a more personal note. How difficult was it to hang it up?
It was. I was done in 2006 because I had played in 2 championship games. I hadn't won a championship, and a little bit frustrated with that.
Sure.
And I'd had some burnout because I had played for quite a few different teams in different towns. So I was always packing new bags every 6 months, and
That's exhausting.
That gets old. I had always wanted to play for Rome, and I hadn't had the opportunity. The team was Lazio, so don't want to confuse Rome and Lazio. You guys, soccer guys know. Sure. So that never happened. But I was okay with it, and then when I started working and getting involved with what was happening, particularly here on one of the projects I had up in Michigan, I got a call out of the blue, and I hadn't played in the 2007 season, 2008 season. The team in Rome reached out and said, "Hey, we need a quarterback. We remember you. Do you want to play?"
Wow.
For 6-7 months, and I was in the middle of some stuff that I was like, "Can I do both?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do both. I'll find a way, And so I did, and that's when I met my wife too. Was that 2009 season? It was the best season I'd ever had. But I was ready to play again at that. And then after that, I was pretty good. But I do remember, kind of sitting that moment you talked about when I went to that workout where you're just like, what am I doing here? Does this make sense? Don't have near the the resume that some of these guys have. I was thinking about this. Hadn't played in 2 years. I was in the airport in Chicago because the team, makes your ticket and then you go. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Does this make any sense for me to go back and play again? And then it did. I mean, it was right.
In a number of ways it worked out for you. So they did ask about theater, and thank you for making that brief. But we met certainly one of the times at the Imagination Station, and we were watching a film. This is what the two of you did not know about it when we were kibitzing a little bit before the second segment. Give us the beginning and the full story of that. It's an important story, and the fact that you were thrown in, that you're part of the creation, I think, is fascinating to me. I do think that there is a stereotype of athletes, particularly football players, that there's these Cro-Magnon-esque, knuckle-dragging, bald-headed, and you only check a few of those boxes, Nick. So
let's not say which one.
Let's let the people decide.
Yeah.
But you've created something that is powerful. Do you mind giving these two knuckleheads insight into that?
So the movie Matt's talking about here is called the Salman Hamdani story, The American Jedi. It's an interesting story. It starts going back to my roots in East Lansing. One of my good buddies, his name is Muhammad Khalil, an Egyptian Muslim gentleman. He's also the head of Islamic Studies at Michigan State University. I grew up Lebanese, Christian family, but we were always buddies. We played sports together, got to know each other. And we wanted to do some interfaith stuff, tell positive stories about Americans coming together, the beauty of America, the American dream, what brought, my immigrant family here, the ability to be an immigrant and live the American dream. And so he and I were like, you know what? Let's tell these stories from, different faith perspectives. And we found this story that nobody really had known about of Salman Hamdani, a Muslim kid who grew up in New York. His family, Pakistani immigrants, came for the American dream, opened up a store in Brooklyn. And this kid was, for me, epitome of the American hero story. This kid that grew up, his favorite movie was Star Wars. He loved everything about just New York, and he wanted to be in the NYPD, wanted to be a police officer. It later becomes a police officer, actually a paramedic with the NYPD training program. Sang in the Christian choir because he thought it was interesting, but was a totally devout Muslim, never drank, did all his prayers and stuff like that. His closest friend in university, and the guy that plays a role in this documentary, was a Jewish professor that he just hit it off with, and they were super tight with. And it's like, to me, this is America.
Right.
This is, we're
right.
so different,
What
but
we aspire to be.
we find ways to be together. And then it gets deeper in the story, and you can find the film online, but the 9/11 happens, and at this point he's a volunteer paramedic with the NYPD, and the morning of, he's on his way to wherever he was volunteering, sees one of the Twin Towers smoking, gets off there, has his EMT bag, goes in, and tragically saves some people, and then is crushed in one of the towers when it comes down. And so we wanted to tell that story. Here's, an American hero going in, and there's some aftermath of that too, where there was confusion and doubt of who was this kid, what happened. And then as more of the stories come out and how much he was there to help, it really becomes just a heroic story. Later on, he talks about, as a youth, a couple things that were important to him was how he went to a funeral for a family friend who was in the NYPD that gets buried underneath the American flag, and his mother, who was really the champion of the story and it went through America afterwards telling the story, said that he pointed to that flag and the NYPD fallen NYPD member being buried underneath the flag and saying, that's honor. That's honor being buried under that. And so there was suspicion with him after, of course, with 9/11, what happened, circumstances, and then he's vindicated, and then he's buried underneath the American flag.
It sounds like such a good story. How do you tell it? Is it through interviews of the people? Did they have photos and things
it's
that are
documentary interviews, people that knew him, people that talked about him growing up. It's how we learned all these things about how Star Wars was his favorite movie, how he sang in the Christian choir, how this professor was one of the, if not his close, one of his closest friends. And that, just, do you guys know the story of the Bodhisattva? You ever heard? Bodhisattva, it's a Hindu term where some people they're brought into this world, into life awake, or more aware of things. And to me, that's like, this is an example of someone who was just that much more aware the minute they were born.
Right. Yeah. Did you enjoy the process, and do you think that you'll develop another project?
If you find stories like that, I mean, this one was inspiring. I mean, it inspires me to think he was 21, 22. All the things that he did, he was 22, and the way he lived is just...
Nick, this is a relative awkward transition, but nonetheless, to some degree, I hope people find it invigorating and exciting. You talked a little bit about the opportunity that you saw in your family's business with potentially underserved buildings that you owned. You've done a lot for downtown Toledo. Can you talk a little bit about, you are a humble person. If I had any of your accomplishments, I would talk about them all the time and certainly not hang out with these two clowns. But at the risk of pushing your level of humbleness, can you talk a little bit about what you've done downtown and what is next and why it's important?
Yeah, well, and this is kind of where you and I really have a lot of respect of how active you are and what you've created. So when I came back in 2006 and started making those trips down here, I came from this European experience of just living in cities where people love to walk and move around. And actually, this is a moment where I'm starting to, it's 20 years later, and to see what's happened, guys, and to see where we're going is pretty exciting. Just to be able to feel like you can walk and do all the different things that you can do now with what Metro Parks has done and things like that. But that goes back to me thinking, man, there's so much of this possible. In 2006, when I was like, maybe this is something I need to dive into and see where it goes, so that's kind of what pushed me and what motivated me to say, okay, you've got great architecture, you've got a great riverfront, you've got all these things in Toledo, and you have some good economic drivers that maybe haven't all been brought together. And so that was kind of what drove me and what made wanting to be here and then eventually moving here, because now we live here in the community. But that's what started that.
If people aren't familiar, what buildings do you own and operate? So
Tower on the Maumee in downtown Toledo, and then also the Lamson Center as well. The former Lamson Center was the One Lake Erie Center. We're rebranding it back to the Lamson Center, which I think will make some people happy who know about the Lamson department store and its history. It has a very cool history. I could talk for a long time about that. I won't do that to you, man.
Yeah, it's better than musical theater.
What's the future look like for the company in Toledo? Is there something big that you're working on or excited about?
So we just opened, as of Monday, we opened the Ferrara Flats in the tower, 91 new units. Very excited about that. And we, I'd like to tie in a lot of this European experience. We're calling it the Ferrara Flats. Ferrara is our sister city in Italy. We're using a product in there in the showers that the only other place I think that used something similar is Miami, which is it's really cool, and you can see the pictures online. It's a shower surround. Instead of using the, what can be the cookie cutter kind of fiberglass surround, it is a paint that was invented and made in Ferrara that is waterproof and looks like marble.
Oh, cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
So 91 new units in that building?
91
That's
new
amazing.
units.
It is amazing.
And we are also working with a guy from Rome who has a couple Michelin recommendations to his name to open an Italian grab-and-go restaurant.
Nice.
In the same
In your building?
Yes.
Wow, that would be exciting.
So amazing. Those are the next two things.
All right. This will be the most difficult thing you've done in your entire career. This is more pressure.
Which, of course, I prepped him for.
It's now time for Gretchen's wacky quiz.
Of course you do, Nick. I told you all about this.
There's no chance he told you. So I am going to ask you 4 rapid-fire questions.
Oh, no. I thought you guys were kicking me out.
No.
Oh, boy.
Gretchen's going to ask you to describe Toledo in one word. And then you and Matt will list the 9 best things in Toledo. It's the 4, 1, 9. All right, here we go.
He's ready. He's
If you created your own country, what would it be called?
Great one. Guyana.
Okay.
What is your most used emoji?
Oh, man, this one.
Yeah,
the finger pointing at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the finger he uses, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've got it proof.
Yeah.
What context do you use the finger pointing?
I think it's positive. Like if somebody has a great idea.
Oh, you're like, that's good. Okay, got it.
That and the thumbs, both of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. What's your favorite season?
Oh, yeah, I love summer.
And then what's your favorite thing to do on a rainy day?
Nap.
Oh, man.
What's the one word you would use to describe the city of Toledo or the region?
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right, 9 of your favorite things, brother. Let's do it.
Okay.
You already said Kibbe at where?
Kibbe at Beirut.
That's right. All right.
My son, who's like since age of 6, can eat raw kibbe. Like
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 8 feet tall.
He should be.
Yeah. All right. We got 8 more.
right.
Favorite things. List them off.
Yeah, the parks. We love the parks. Love the water.
Love the water, absolutely.
Yeah. And because I like to keep it, love the tracks.
Yeah, sure.
Run the tracks quite a bit. And
any favorite buildings downtown? Either ones that you
architecture in general.
Architecture in
I
general.
love Toledo's architecture. Sports teams, the enthusiasm.
I'll give you 2 for that. You got 2 left.
Yeah, authenticity of the people.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've been in a lot of places.
I'm giving you 9 right there. That's it.
One of
Thanks,
these days,
Nick.
we're going to get Matt to acknowledge there's more than 2 teams in Toledo. One of these days, we'll get beyond the Mud Hens and Walleye. We can do it.
What?
That's right.
Okay.
What?
That's a good point. Rockets. I'm Rockets. People ask me, who do you like, Michigan, Ohio State? I'm like, but now we got Bowling Green's coming along too.
Yeah.
No, they aren't. As the announcer for Toledo, I'm obligated to say that.
Contractually obligated.
Nick, thank you so much for joining us.
So nice to talk to you.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by the new Executive Director of Leadership Toledo, Arika Michaelis. We'll be right back on the 419.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at WitroAdvisors.com.
Destination Toledo. Whether you're a local or a visitor, Destination Toledo invites you to explore the region and be a tourist in Toledo. Find events, dining, and things to do at visittoledo.org.
WorkSpring. HR issues and employee well-being go hand in hand. WorkSpring supports employers through compliance, training, and wellness because healthy workplaces don't happen by accidents. Learn more at workspring.org.
Toledo Refining Company, a subsidiary of PDF Energy. Toledo Refining Company is a supplier of fuels that keep our region moving. Located in Oregon, Ohio, the refinery processes crude oil into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and other petroleum products.
And TARTA, celebrating its 55th year of connecting Northwest Ohioans to their community. More information tarda.com.
Welcome back into the 419, powered by WGTE. We're joined now by the brand new Executive Director of Leadership Toledo, Arika Michaelis. Arika, congratulations and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Kind of a light summer for you?
Yeah, nothing really going on.
Yeah, just lame.
Yeah.
If people aren't familiar with Leadership Toledo, let's start there.
Yeah.
What is Leadership Toledo?
Sure. So Leadership Toledo has been around for almost 50 years now.
Me too.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we are primarily focused on getting people connected to the community, growing in their leadership abilities, and identifying meaningful service for them to get involved in the community.
How did you come to join the team at Leadership Toledo?
So I went through the program in 2021 and 2022, so class of 2022. And
Did most people have to do it twice, or were you so deficient the first time that?
Sorry, it starts in 2021 and then ends in 2022. Just like a regular school year.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Because I had a bunch of fourth grades.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
And that's how you got to 50, so excited
That's
for
right.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really inspired by what I learned in the programming. They really work on getting you connected to the community through different topics, so health and human services, arts and culture, and then also have leadership training. So Sarah Best came in and talked about the PI. Bryce Roberts came in and talked about the 360 and control reactive. And so,
Bryce Roberts, flim flam guy, your words?
yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
You should tell our audience you're actually marrying Bryce Roberts this weekend.
Yes, in 3 days.
Last weekend. It would be last weekend by the time.
It's been 6 days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So happy 60th anniversary.
Yeah. How's it going?
Yeah, honestly, super good.
Yeah.
I love married life.
You look terrific. Yeah.
Thank you.
You look different from when I saw you 2 weeks ago.
No, did you guys meet in Leadership Toledo?
No, we actually met through Toledo Streets newspaper.
Okay.
And so
Is that a dating service?
It is, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can just write an op-ed into the Toledo Streets newspaper, and that's
in search
how
of
you find your match.
That's right, sure.
Yeah.
Gretchen's writing one
maybe
right
there's
now.
one out there for you, Matt.
Yeah.
So I was going through the program and was just really inspired by the work that they were doing and getting people better connected to the community. I've always had a really big passion for community building.
Yes, you have.
And so this was a really natural step for me. When I found out that they were hiring, I was like, yes, please.
Sure.
I do have to take a quick detour for folks that if they may not be familiar with Toledo Streets.
Yes.
We have had them on the program, but just quickly, Toledo Streets is obviously a meaningful organization to both you and Bryce.
Yeah.
But what is Toledo Streets?
Toledo Streets is a nonprofit that serves people experiencing homelessness. It helps them gain financial autonomy. It's a workforce development program, but it's also a community for people who have really fallen through the cracks. It's a fantastic organization. I used to work there, and then I made the transfer to Leadership Toledo, and I still get to interact with Toledo Streets newspaper and other nonprofits like that through LT.
Yeah, we had Doug Heimbaugh on the program, and Doug talked a little bit about kind of his love for that organization as well. When I talk to people about Leadership Toledo, I often tell them that it is this incredible sort of tour of Toledo and a behind-the-scenes tour at that, but the most impactful part of the program isn't the programming, it's the other people that you're sitting alongside when you do it, right? To be in a room of people that are as curious to get more engaged in the community as you are is a real gift. Are there folks in the class from your class that you stay in contact with? I know every class refers to themselves as the best class ever.
Yeah.
But the reality is that was achieved in 2009, and it hasn't happened since.
Okay,
just
wow.
to make sure you know.
Well, we did just graduate the class of 2026 that have coined themselves the most generous class ever.
And humblest.
And yes, most humble. They did, however, raise the most end of year in their giving campaign for the end of year campaign for the Leadership Toledo. So I think that they've earned it. But
Arika, I've run into a multitude of people who articulate exactly what you two have just said, that how do you know them? I met them, they were in my Leadership Toledo, and they are friends to this day. I'll run into them, the two of them, having lunch, whomever the two of them are. That happens with little regularity.
Yeah, it's an outstanding thing in Toledo to be connected to the Leadership Toledo community, I think.
It does not happen at a networking 30-minute experience, which we all go to. And that to diminish those that they have no value, but this is a much different piece of connective tissue.
Yes, and we start all of our programming with getting to know each other in like a deep and meaningful way. So even though we give them name tags that have their name and their business on it, we really ask them to explore like who they are as people, who they are in the community, outside of their work. And
This,
so,
this show has distanced us
Yeah.
from one another.
It has.
Maybe we could use some tips.
Mostly because we got to know each other better than we realized.
That was
I'm
a real,
good, actually.
That was a real
I'll
mistake.
see you the next day at recording.
But part of the project, part of the thing that you just alluded to, the part of the project that classes do is a philanthropy type part or a project that they work on. Can you talk about some of the things that the prior classes have done or contributed to?
Yeah, so the Maumee Valley Habitat for Humanity Playhouse Build was a Leadership Toledo project that kicked off and is now an annual opportunity that they have.
It's so cool.
It is really cool. This past year's class helped the East Toledo Family Center with a huge anniversary that they had. They did a lot of archiving work and then created an anniversary event for them. And the East Toledo Family Center is an incredible place in East Toledo. And so to bring a little more publicity to that, through the Leadership Toledo cohort alone, like people from the cohort showing up to that event because now their teammates are working on lifting it off. That was another really successful project recently.
I'll say.
You guys have expanded both adult and youth programming over the last few years. Let's stay on the adult side. You guys have more than just what's called the Signature Program, which is what we're talking about. There's some other programs that you guys have added as well.
Yeah, so in 2023, we launched Focus 409, which is a 2.5-day program. So it covers a lot of the similar topics of the Signature Program, but we do it in 2.5 days instead of 10 months. And so it is fast and furious. Where we would normally take a day to cover a topic, we take an hour and a half. And so we had to get really creative about that. You know, we're not using panels as much, and we're doing more like hands-on learning activities. So for an example, we go on a downtown tour with the land bank, and they talk about the projects that they're working on. We got to go in the Michaelis and the Spitzer building at the Four Corners. And so it's a really exciting 2.5 days for folks. It's more accessible, it's more affordable. We've had people who can't take 10 months off or not 10 months off, but 10 sessions throughout the 10 months off. And so doing it back-to-back 2.5 days, it becomes more accessible for teachers, for doctors,
and it's
for administrators.
Anywhere in your career that you could, or your work life, you could do that
100%.
Focus 409 program.
It would certainly be beneficial.
And they end up bonded in the same way that the Signature Program classes do at the end, because you're spending a really tight 2.5 days together.
Arika, what's the best panel you've ever had?
I've never been on one, so.
Yeah, maybe one in the future with Gretchen and Kevin.
I was going to say, let's. I want to hear the answer to that.
Yeah, it's fine.
That is interesting. I feel like my program year, my favorite panel that I witnessed was the education panel.
Oh, Christ.
Metro Parks wasn't in the programming yet, but
Let me care about education.
I don't have kids in the community, and so it was really cool to see the education side of things that I really wouldn't have any other reason to know about.
That's fine. No, that's fine. We don't care.
Arika, now that it's under your leadership, and of course, stepping into the great steps of, or the footsteps of Anna Tony, who's been there for a long time, what's something that you hope to add in, or that you hope to change or tweak or get people to understand about Leadership Toledo under your leadership?
Yeah, I think something that we do really well is our programming. And so taking a peek at what we're currently doing and sustaining that and the strength that we have in the community. We've also been getting asked from organizations to help in program consulting because we are so good at running programming. We've been asked to do in-house leadership development at some of the organizations and corporations in our area. And so I think we've started broaching into those opportunities. But
what a testament to how good you are at this. Other people are having you bring it in. So I hope that you've taken a moment as your team to give yourself flowers for that.
Now, are you from Toledo? Have you lived here for your whole
I'm
life?
from Woodville, so the Toledo area. But I moved away for college. I lived in West Virginia for 7 years, and then I came back to Toledo in 2019.
So sick of the literacy that West Virginia provided?
West Virginia is an incredible state.
It is a beautiful state.
Yeah, it is beautiful in a lot of ways. They have the newest national park, River Gorge.
What do you like to do, or you and Bryce like to do when you're not working? What would be like a fun Toledo Saturday for you guys?
Ooh, the farmers market.
Okay.
Antiquing at Copper Kettle or the Mommy Antique Mall.
When you turned 80, what did you do?
Crosswords in the park.
That's right. I like to sit with my birds.
You're wearing a straw hat doing this?
Yes,
That's what I think.
I do have a straw hat.
Of course you do.
Yeah, you're in West Virginia.
You can't be in the sun. Come on.
Yeah.
No, we just have a lot of really cool goings-ons in the
Yes.
Toledo area. Really good food. The metro parks are okay.
Yeah, they're
I think
fine.
people like
We're
them
doing
a little
okay.
bit.
Yeah.
I
should
don't- I
mention
don't-
the eighth.
I don't want to end the segment without talking about the youth side of what Leadership Toledo does, because this is a newer, right? I think when I went through the program, I don't know that the youth.
Yeah, early 2000s. So.
Yeah. We can't even know that, especially
Before-
because her interests are so boring. So let's go back.
No, we have an incredible youth program. Nicole Sestorf runs our youth programming, and YLT's been around since the early 2000s, and Yippee came after that.
Speaking of literacy, do you know Nicole has this, I'll say problem, my words, with reading?
Oh my God, I was
She's
just going to
incredibly
bring that
well-read.
up. I'm not kidding. She just posted on Instagram in her stories, like 15 different books. And I messaged her and I'm like, when are you doing this? When are you
I don't
doing this
know.
reading?
She reads 100 books a
She's
year.
got kids, she works. I don't understand. Maybe
Let me
she
tell you
doesn't
something.
stream for 7 hours a day.
Let me tell you something. We have never put this to the test. I could throw 15 books up on my whatever.
But she writes reviews of them.
Also,
Yeah, but that-
I
you
would
can
say if
Google
you
that.
need a book recommendation, she's the first person you should call.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
She's read everything.
messaged her and I was like, when, quite
books a
literally,
year.
when are you doing this?
I
Yeah,
didn't
are
know
you
there were
doing
100 books written.
So if I may, our Yippee program is the philanthropy program that she runs, and they raise about $20,000 every year and give
Wow.
it back to youth serving organizations in
Wow,
the Toledo area.
that's
So
amazing.
in addition to the service projects that we do in our signature program, we also have this philanthropy arm through the youth program, and we're really developing the leaders in
Yeah.
the community. So the way we've talked about the network that you get to experience through the signature program or Focus 409, the youth are also
Starts,
getting
right.
that incredible network.
Erica, do you have a million, I'm sure, not necessarily aha moments, but favorites? So this is probably like asking you to pick, a favorite family member, although everyone has one. Do you have at least one aha moment or something that's particularly powerful to you over the years that was a success, or individuals that were connected to this community, or individual that took Leadership Toledo's and took the opportunity and just soared from it?
Yeah, I guess when I first moved back to Toledo, I didn't intend on staying here. I came back from West Virginia and I was looking to go to another mountain state.
Yeah.
But when I landed here, everyone was incredible. Everyone was interested in growing the community to be the best that it could be. They were super supportive of helping me find my way in the community and where I wanted to serve. And so I think when that happened for me, I realized that was a gift, and that's what I want to give forward to other people. And I get to do that in my job every day.
amazing. Yeah.
Well, don't blow past the fact that you have made that opportunity. You're an exceptional person, and so the experience you just articulated doesn't just fall off a tree, right? You fostered that.
Where do you go around here to get your mountain fix?
An overpass, or
I can't get my mountain fix here, but I think that the metro parks have really amazing trails, and there are 100 of them at this point. So
I have no idea.
I just move around the metro parks. I live really close to Swan Creek. I used to live close to Wildwood, so I would go to those metro parks. But
have you fallen in love with Swan Creek?
I love Swan Creek.
Yeah.
I have
think that's
seen
kind of a
so
sneaky
much
great one.
wildlife at Swan Creek.
Yeah, we drop them in there. It's kind of our marketing
Oh,
budget.
great. Yeah, I love
Anything
that.
you'd like to see, like
well,
a
I've
penguin?
taken some of them home. I hope that's okay.
Please do. Yeah, actually,
Taxpayer money.
any geese you see, feel free to make their home your home.
How many axolotls are there at Swan Creek
Okay,
Metro
I don't want
Park?
to talk about that.
Axolotls.
That's a shot at me. I bet my daughter $100,000 that it was spelled in not the way that it is. So I now owe a 7-year-old $100,000.
Okay.
Yeah, and she brings it
You've
up.
got a lot of time to pay that out. So.
Yeah.
He does.
Do you think Yippee would take that on as a project?
Maybe.
Just to raise the $100,000 from
Or
Matt?
my children.
Yeah, that's youth serving. So.
That'd be an interesting. I want to see Matt go in and pitch to the Leadership Toledo class
I
for
could
their
pitch
charity.
this. Yeah.
Raise my children.
Yeah,
Amazing.
100%.
Raise my
yeah, one of them's nice.
One of them. Great. You did a good job on that one.
Yeah, that's the mom.
Erica, if people want more information on Leadership Toledo, where can they find it?
LeadershipToledo.org. You can also find us on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram.
And then when is the next signature class? When is that filling? When do people sign up for that?
So we are currently filling the class. We take up to 55 applicants.
Okay.
So we've already started building the class, but we'll accept applications through the end of July, and then that class will start in September and run September through June.
quick.
I was always jealous. I didn't get to take this class.
neither.
Well, there's still time.
Yeah.
We have people who go through the program that have lived in Toledo for 62 years or longer and say, I still didn't know this part of Toledo, or I didn't know I could get involved in this way.
Yes. Right.
And so people who are well connected in Toledo often are like, I don't know if this is for me. I bet there's people in the class that you have never met. And I bet there are places that we can take you that you've never been to.
Sold.
Amazing.
Arika, thank you.
Congratulations on
so much.
Congratulations on everything.
Thanks. I'm married.
So happy for you.
Yep. Only 6 days in.
Yeah.
You know, it's great.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up this mystery guest edition of the 419.
You laughed with us. You learned with us.
Hi, neighbor.
We made sure your childhood was special. Memories that could only be provided by PBS. For generations, we've given you programs that made a difference. Programs that entertained, informed, and inspired. And today is no different. This is WGTE Public Media in Toledo. It's where you belong.
Welcome back into the 419 as we wrap up a mystery guest edition. Matt, great job on the mystery guest.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean to make that sound so surprising.
There was a tone in there. It's fine. I will take.
Matt, good job.
Yeah, is it Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Nick.
What a life that guy has had.
I knew, actually, we were talking on Monday as we do in our production meeting, if that's an industry term, I'm sure our listeners are unfamiliar. And it was a rare time when I listened to Shame, our producer, and I was texting him underneath the table in real time. So, yeah, Nick is a great guy, and Arika and Nick. A great show, two great people, not to beat this to death, but I absolutely love two pieces of that. Nick talking about what America aspired to be and should be through that story. It's an amazingly powerful story. It will make you weep. I had the opportunity to see it at the Imagination Station, but it doesn't need to be on a large screen for it to be emotive and effective. Talks a little bit about us at our worst in terms of blaming an individual based on where they were from and jumping to a conclusion without letting things play out. And then at the end, it leaves us with aspiring to be better and more. Not dissimilar to Arika's message, I think, as she talks about leadership Toledo. You can't spend 62 years in a place, to her point, although that was a little on the nose, so I'm sure that's an individual that they're thinking about in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm not 62.
And I hope you never get there. And not be able to experience things. It isn't necessarily about buildings or sports teams or parks or anything like that. There's somebody next door to you or on your block that has a great story that can be inspiring. And if nothing else, what should be inspiring is walking across the street to introduce yourselves to them.
Well said.
How often in meetings are you texting another person in the same meeting about the other people in the meeting?
That is the only reason I go to meetings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hang on, I need to send Matt a text right now.
I got it. I also hate her.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Huge thanks to our guests for joining us today. Thanks to Nick Eyde, our mystery guest, and thanks to Arika Michaelis. And of course, congratulations on a wedding and the new role as Executive Director at Leadership Toledo. If you missed any part of the show, you can catch it 7 a.m. on YouTube, 3 p.m. on FM 91, or 6 p.m. on WGTE Connects, channel 30.4. It's the 419, powered by WGTE, presented by Witro Wealth Management.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you.